Hey, Sam here, and in this video I'm taking a look at the Epomaker RT100. Priced at just over $100 it's a 95% keyboard with a somewhat retro theme, and the interesting thing is that it has a little monitor and a knob on it too. As for the paperwork and accessories included in the box, here's what you get. The first thing is this little retro TV. It's a customizable screen and it connects through a Type-C connection here to the keyboard. A 2-in-1 switch and keycap puller. A really nice and premium looking Type-A to Type-C cable, and it has really thick cables. A quick guide on how to use the smart screen. And a really huge user manual because it comes in multiple languages and it feels like I'm reading a newspaper holding it like this. So the keyboard also comes with a hard plastic cover to keep the dust out. And it's surprisingly quite light for a 97 key keyboard, only at 970 grams or 2.15 pounds. Here I have the retro white version and the knob is located on the top right corner as usual. Next to it is the on-off switch and the Windows and Mac OS toggle. And right behind here is where you can find the Type-C connection port for the keyboard. It's on the right side. On the top left, there's a compartment to store the 2.4 GHz wireless dongle, and there's also a Type-C connection port here where the screen will attach to. So the mini TV just slots into place and it looks like this after it's installed. Here is what it looks like from the side. You can see the MDA profile keycaps included and the screen here. The height of the keyboard is also adjustable with the height adjustable feet on the bottom, and there's 2 adjustable heights for it. And it's also the same here at the side with the knob. On the bottom, there's 5 rubber feet to keep it in place, the 2 height adjustable feet previously mentioned, and a sticker with the model number of the keyboard in the middle. The lighting on this keyboard is nice. It has per key RGB and RGB at the knob as well. As for the modes, there are already a few RGB modes programmed into the keyboard, so you can just hold down function and delete to cycle through these different modes. Now moving on to the mini TV screen. By default, it displays the time, day and date, current battery life of the keyboard, the connection mode, temperature and computer CPU usage, and of course the Epomaker GIF here as well. And yes, that section is customizable, so you can upload any GIF or picture you want to this little screen. The screen is also sharp, so the GIFs and images will appear really clear and not pixelated. So if you're wondering how to do this, you just need to install the Epomaker RT100 software. Once the keyboard is connected, you just have to navigate to the screen settings tab over here. In here, you can draw your own artworks if you want to and view all of your previous GIFs and images that you have saved. To upload new GIFs and images, you just need to click on the select picture option here. Once selected, you can save the animation for future use and upload it to the screen by just pressing upload. This will only take a few seconds and also depends on how big the file is. Besides that, you can also sync the time and weather information from your computer to the screen in the other settings tab here. This software also allows for the usual key remapping, function and macro setting, and RGB lighting configuration. And one more really cool thing it has is the community tab over here, where users can share their own creation with other people and try out other ones made by other people as well. I actually really like this feature. It's nice to see what the community has made and trying them out for myself. Alright, enough about the screen, let's move on to the other parts of the keyboard. For the keycaps, they are die-sub PBT keycaps in the MDA profile. The color and design looks pretty good, but some people will love it and some will definitely not. The dye sublimation printing is clear and sharp, and the thickness of the keycaps are decent too. Overall, they are okay in my opinion. I'm just not a fan of the MDA profile. For the switches, I chose the Gateron Pro Yellow linear switches, and Epomaker has a few other options to choose from, so you can check it out for yourself if you don't like these linear switches. These are the Gateron Pro series, so they do come looped from the factory, so they are really smooth out of the box. The PCB here is 5-pin hot swap with a south-facing layout, so most switches in the market will fit it and it won't have any interference with cherry profile keycaps. The included plate mounted stabilizers are okay, they don't really rattle as they are slightly looped from the factory. But if you want to change them out and use screw-in stabilizers, the PCB will support that too. Now moving on to the components and mods included. To access the parts inside, some prying tools are needed as the case is held together with clips only, so there's no need for a screwdriver. After the clips are all open, the battery, screen and knob connection cables need to be disconnected first. These cables all connect to the top case where there's a small motherboard for the knob and the switches on the right corner, and on the other side, the left, there's a small one for the screen. In the bottom part of the case, there's a thick piece of foam for noise reduction. It also has all of the mounting points for the plate, so all of the Poron gaskets are here on the sides. And a decently sized battery at 5000 mAh for the wireless functionality of the keyboard. The plate and PCB is held together with a few screws. I actually do not recommend what I'm doing in the video, but you can pry the plate away without removing the switches and keycaps. This is mostly because of the polycarbonate plate that is very flexible even with the switches and stabilizers still installed. For the spacebar, they've included some extra silicone dampeners here to mute the sound. Here is the 5-pin hot swap south-facing PCB, and if you look closely here, these holes are the ones that will support the screw-in stabilizers. On the back, all of the hot swap sockets here are Kel, so that's really good. As for the mods, there are two included here for the plate and PCB. There's one Poron plate form that's already custom cut and a piece of IXPE switch pad for the PCB. I'll be honest, taking a look inside, I'm really impressed with all of the mods and items included here. The mods included were high quality and the case is easy to open as well, so it's modder friendly. Now let's move on to the typing sound test to hear how it sounds. So I think from my review alone, you can see that for a little more than $100 the Epomaker RT100 packs a lot of features and mods for the price. I really like the mini TV screen, the inclusion of the knob, the foam included, and the overall concept of the keyboard. The only downside I could see is the design, as some people do prefer a more minimal and clean approach to their keyboards. But if this fits your aesthetic and you are planning on getting it, I do recommend it, and it will be linked in the description below for you. So that wraps it up for this video. Thanks to Epomaker for the keyboard, and leave a like on this video if you liked it. Dislike this video if you didn't like it. Remember to subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.